Hi, I'm Jonathan Roberts.
Hi, I'm Pamela.
And this is Real Estate, where we look back at some of the interesting property news in the past week.
That's right. What's your pick this week?
My pick this week is about Bank Negara Malaysia. They have actually created a website packed with data aimed at debunking myths that financing, access to finance is actually deterring home ownership. So apparently, according to the article, 70% of home loan applications being approved in key city areas, and that's the main takeaway, key city areas. But 70% is a very high number. So the reason for this article is because a lot of people have been blaming the central bank for being too strict with their policies, and we know stakeholders, especially real estate developers, have been pushing for more looser and more lax policies. But central bank says that they cannot do it because by doing so, you're actually creating risk for non-performing loans, which could be very detrimental for our country in the future, and not only for the country but for the banks and the individuals themselves. And so it's a very tricky situation, and I think what's worth noting in this report is very interesting that the median house price is about 4.4 times the median annual household income right now.
Which means that Malaysia homes are basically unaffordable.
Yes.
But it's a worldwide phenomenon, but who is to blame? Is it the developer that is building homes that are unaffordable, or banks that is not giving enough leeways for it?
Yeah, so to get a view on this, we actually spoke to Khong Jaafar Managing Director, Elvin Fernandez, and here's what he has to say.
And as recently pointed out by the Department of Statistics, the main issue is actually about the mismatch between the median house, the house price and the household income. So the industry was in the boom years, in the early part of this decade, the industry was more on the higher end of the spectrum. That means a lot of houses were being sold which were 1 million and above. But household income was increasing, but it was not increasing at the rate that the house prices increased. Once this shift has started to take place, the realization that there is this mismatch between house price and household income, and the industry now moving towards the lower end of the market. Surely everyone now appreciates when the market moves like that, there's going to be a lot of dislocation.
All right, thank you, Mr. Alvin, for your insights, and I think what he said really makes sense. It's a good realization that what Malaysians need is affordable housing, not luxury home per se. So we hope that in time to come there's more affordable homes rolled out for the likes of me and you.
So actually we talk about affordable homes on our first episode of Real Estate, so you can check that out. It's both of us too. So
and we also talked to the Bancco Group Managing Director Jerry Tang regarding home loan rejections, and Jerry too agreed with Mr. Alvin that responsible lending regulations by central bank is actually good for the country, while it can be frustrating now. But he also pointed out and offered his thoughts on why many Malaysians have their home loans rejected, and pay attention to what he has to say.
Responsible financing, their main terms. Responsible financing means they want the best of both worlds. They want people afford to buy, afford to get loans. They want the bank also not giving too strict or too kind of loose. But this balance is not achieved. I think the financial intelligence among the Malaysian citizens is still very low. They don't know what bank wants. Simply, even you have a high salary, you simply go to the bank and apply, you may get rejected because you are not financially, from bank perspective, financially prepared for the loan application. So I think the education on application from central bank should increase. I don't believe that bank are losing. They don't losing actually. They keep on impose more and more rules. But that's good. That's good for bank business and for the whole country economy.
All right, and thank you, Jerry Tang, for your wonderful insights. And Pam, on to you. What is your pick?
Yes, talking about loans and everything, actually a lot of people owe the banks a lot of loans. But AKPK, the Credit Counselling and Debt Management Agency, recently helped 14,688 individuals, to clear off their debts of 593 million ringgit. via the debt management program that they have created. And this program is to help borrowers to improve and restructure their financial standings, like housing loans, car loans, personal loans, even outstanding credit card loans, balances, things like that. So, you know, financial planning, it's hard.
Yeah, it's a tough thing because,
Yeah.
you know, we are generally we are not really
Yeah, we
taught
are-
this kind of things
That's
growing
right,
up.
and we are fresh graduates, you know, we have PTPM
Yeah.
loans to pay,
We have
things
cars,
like that,
you
cars.
have all sorts of loans.
Yeah, you can't really
Yeah.
live without a car in Malaysia.
You're stuck with
So-
debts even before you got your first paycheck. Yeah,
Yeah, that's right.
So,
And we actually want to question this to a lot of audiences, is that, is it really that we are millennials are bad at financial planning, or is it that it's just
Cost of living?
the cost of living is very high? And we actually got someone, our friends actually, Kevin Christopher, to share about his experience as a fresh graduate coming out here to work for a year, and this is what he has to say.
Right. So I graduated probably about a year ago, and struggling to save up some money. You know, like to have extra cash with you. You said you only have enough to pay off every other bills that you have currently, like for instance your car loan, and on top of that the petrol price. Not living with your family, you have to pay rentals in PJ. In order for me to sustain all this 3,000 ringgit basic salary as a fresh graduate is not sufficient. So, you know, what I have to do, you know, like a part-time Grab. Luckily, there's Grab actually to support me, to actually, give me an extra income so that I don't have to be in debt, you know. So basically, when you're doing Grab at night and stuff, it's exhausting, you know, after work, like after 5:30, you sometimes do OT, and after that, then you have to like go and do Grab so that you can have extra cash for you to spend at the end of the month.
all right, thank you, Kevin Christopher, and for his insights. And what do you think about, you know, young people who drive Grab at night?
I think it's becoming a normal thing, but the thing is, how long can it sustain? You know,
Yeah.
the cost of living is getting higher.
It's
People are getting more
necessary. It's
hardworking.
necessary, but I wonder whether this should be the new normal, because in terms of lifestyle, you know, people still need family time. They still need time to rest.
That's right.
And all this, I
Yeah.
really wonder if it's good in the long run. But I guess it's quite necessary now to cope with the higher cost of living.
Yeah.
And interestingly enough, the DMP program by AKPK actually had 14.6 individuals below the age of 30 who signed up in spite of having no financial difficulties. So basically, they're just going there to learn how to manage their finance. And this was according to the CEO of AKPK himself, Azadin Tase.
That's
So
quite comforting to hear.
it's very comforting to hear,
Yeah.
because, you know, we hear a lot of accusations towards millennials of being
That's right.
spendthrift and wanting instant gratification. So
Yeah.
apparently not. There
Well,
are-
I guess
yeah.
those kind of accusations come in only while we are studying. But when we start working, it's a totally different story for us. So
Yeah.
we learn how to do our financial
I
planning.
guess it's harder to part ways with the money you work so hard for.
That's
yeah.
true. That's
And
true. You got a question to ask?
yeah, our question to ask is actually, are Malaysians really poor at managing their finances, or, you know, is this just the
High cost of living?
high cost of
Yeah, we got
okay.
someone.
Yep.
Who did you interview?
I actually talked to the Financial Planning Association Malaysia CEO, Linnet Lee.
The reason is because the younger generations, when they were born, they were in the consumerism age. So there's a lot of, and also it is a time of abundance, because our parents' time, especially those who were born during the Japanese, after the Japanese war, the scarcity, so they tend to be more careful with money and they tend to save. So those who are born after that, Gen Y and after that, they are a little bit more fortunate, because when they come into the world, things were a little bit more abundant, and that's when the consumerism starts coming in, where there's a lot of advertisements, buying things and all that. So in a way, this kind of against this background, they do not have to worry about scarcity. The spending pattern tends to be there. Yeah, I think a lot of people are not aware, but Bank Negara has done a good job, because they have started embedding financial education into primary schools.
Thank you, Linnet Lee. So yeah, I think that's very true. Whatever she said, you know,
Yep.
like our parents actually does give us whatever we want, but it still doesn't, despite the fact that we are not getting enough finance education, especially for the children, the younger generation. What happened to my children next time if I would have one? Sadly, this is the end of the reel. This episode is actually produced by Jonathan and our lovely Hakim. And yeah, like our Facebook page to keep up with all things real. I'm Pamela Fong.
And I'm Jonathan Roberts.
Happy Deepavali, everyone, and see you next time.
See you next time.